My roommate ate my mother's last meal while I buried her, so I buried his gains forever. My roommate Tanner treated our apartment like his personal kingdom, where everyone else just paid rent to serve him. He was the type of guy who would eat your leftover Chinese food and then complain it was too spicy. He'd label all his stuff with threatening notes like, touch this and die, but thought everyone else's food came with an invisible free sign attached to it. The worst part was how he acted like he was doing you a favor. I cleaned out the fridge for you, he'd say, after eating your entire meal prep. He spent $400 a month on protein powder, but somehow never had money to replace the food he stole. I tried everything, labeling my food, buying a mini fridge, even getting stuff he claimed to hate. Nothing worked. He ate it all anyway, but nothing compared to what he did the day I buried my mother. She had fought pancreatic cancer for 2 years, getting weaker every month until she could barely stand. The week before she passed, she somehow found the strength to make one last batch of her famous shepherd's pie. It was this recipe her own mother brought from Ireland, with secret ingredients she'd never told anyone else. I want you to have this after I'm gone, she told me from her hospital bed, her hands shaking as she held mine. When you eat it, remember that I'll always be with you. It was the last thing she ever cooked. 3 days later, she was gone. I put that shepherd's pie in our freezer with a note that said, do not touch, sentimental value. I wrote Mother's Memorial Meal on every side of the container. I even told Tanner directly that this was the last thing my mom ever made, and I was saving it for after her funeral when I could handle eating it. The funeral was brutal. Seeing her coffin get lowered into the ground while rain poured down felt like the world was ending. I came home exhausted, emotionally destroyed, ready to heat up that last meal and feel close to her one more time. The container was in the trash, completely empty, except for a note. Thanks for the free dinner. BTW, it was kinda bland. Maybe add more salt next time? I stood there in my wet funeral suit, holding that empty container, and something inside me went cold. Not angry, not sad, just cold and calculating. Tanner walked out of his room, patting his stomach. Oh hey, you're back. Yeah, I ate that pie thing. I was hungry after the gym and all my meal prep was gone. He actually had the nerve to burp. Your mom wasn't much of a cook, was she? That's when I started planning. See, Tanner had one weakness he couldn't live without, his precious gains. He followed this strict diet and supplement routine like it was a religion. Chicken breast at noon, protein shake at 3, pre-workout at 5, more chicken at 7. He weighed everything on a food scale and tracked every calorie in an app. I did my research carefully. Found this stuff online that causes something called taste aversion. Basically, if you get sick after eating something, your brain starts associating that food with being sick. It's why people can't eat certain foods after food poisoning. The trick was making it happen without him knowing. I started small, adding tiny amounts of ipecac syrup to his supplements. Not enough to make him really sick, just enough to feel queasy. Every time he ate chicken, his stomach would feel a little off. Every time he drank his protein shake, he'd get slightly nauseous. He blamed it on overtraining at first, then on the weather, then on stress. Within 3 weeks, Tanner couldn't keep any of his usual foods down. The sight of chicken breast made him gag. The smell of his protein powder sent him running to the bathroom. He went to doctor after doctor, but they found nothing wrong. It's all in your head, one told him, which made him scream that the medical system was a scam. The transformation was beautiful to watch. This guy who bragged about his perfect physique lost 40 pounds of muscle in 2 months. He tried switching brands of protein powder, buying organic chicken, even blessing his food. Nothing worked. His body had learned to reject everything he loved. Now Tanner lives with his mom in the suburbs, surviving on plain rice and steamed vegetables. He posts old gym photos pretending they're current, but everyone can see his face looks like a deflated balloon. He works at a vitamin shop where he has to smell protein powder all day but can't drink it without puking. Me? I keep my mom's shepherd's pie recipe in a frame on the kitchen wall. The one recipe Tanner will never be able to steal again. Sometimes I make it just for myself, adding extra salt like he suggested. And every time I eat it, I remember what she said about always being with me. Turns out she was right. She's with me every time I watch Tanner's workout videos where he dry heaves at the sight of a grilled chicken breast. Some people say revenge is wrong. I say it depends on what they took from you. Tanner took the last gift my mother ever gave me, so I took the only thing he ever really loved, his ability to build muscle. Fair trade, if you ask me.